Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to another live session with the Hype Magazine. I'm your editor-in-chief, Jerry Doby, and this afternoon, I have the distinct honor of getting to talk and spend some time with this young lioness by the name of Jewel. She's a rising star that set the internet ablaze with this intergalactic music video that's going into a hit called My Alien. What an amazing piece. I got a chance to watch the video.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, it was going to cause this kind of speculation about your personal life. I'm not going to ask you about your personal life
Okay.
because unless you want to talk about it, we won't talk about it. I just want to talk about how magnificent the music is. I was not used to your particular timbre, and I'm going, where is she coming from? And then I started leaning forward and I'm like, okay, she's physically affected me. So this is like really dope. So
Thank you.
Jules, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. So look, for those of us that are really just meeting, you understand you have some really interesting things going on, but I would like to first start with a kind of introspective and have you tell me from the inside looking out how you view Jules, the artist, the creator.
From the inside, I'm like really like all over the place mentally, but like good in a good way, just because I have like a lot of ideas, a lot of different vibes, and I feel like they all just come together and make me. So that's why it's kind of hard to pinpoint when people ask the question, oh, what are your influences? Or what's this or what's that? It's kind of like that's why I say what Galaxy Baby is. Galaxy Baby is like just out of this world, just all over the place, just but fun, good vibes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I mean, it's a full service EP. If you haven't gotten it, Galaxy Baby is 6 tracks, and I've never heard this presentation dipping into the cosmos of love and celestial range emotions and all that good stuff. I'm like, okay, this line is serious. How did you develop the courage to share yourself from that level?
It definitely took time to like, and it's just really just that's just naturally me. So it just took time to be able to just release it and not look back. So like I'm naturally like an overthinker and I'm pretty shy, but I'm just kind of like there's literally only one of me. So I feel like if I just put myself out there, it's just like people are going to respect it because it's like, oh wow, okay, what else from Jules? What now? What now? What now? And I feel like that's kind of what it is with the people who've been tapped in and been listening. So I just like it's like let me just finally just really jump out there and see how they feel about it. I was definitely a little bit nervous just because
Mm.
it's so different than like things that I released before previously. But at the same time, it's what I love and I think it's really fun. So I don't want to ever take the fun out of what I'm doing. It's not going to feel real anymore.
What you're doing now is so diametrically opposite of where you came from. Coming out of a ministry home,
Yeah.
I don't know how much you want to get into it, but you started singing in front of church audiences, and it's
Mhm.
not a judgment. I'm my grandfather was a minister, and he would have been, he was very like, I don't know what you're doing, but uh, talk to me about how that helped develop, because even within the church, there are these explorations sonically,
Yeah.
that you don't hear everywhere, and then
Mhm.
you're able to bring those from that into the secular world, or I
Yeah.
don't know how you want to describe it, but talk to me about that impact.
You know, it's like I said, I'm just a pretty shy person, pretty reserved person. But I will say singing in church is completely different than singing in the world or performing, doing shows. Because in church, it's like, it's really ministry. It's strictly about your vocals. It's not about your image. It's not about how you're moving. So when I was singing in church, I would stand in the same spot with the mic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more about the vocals and like the lyrics of the song to like reach the people.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of like it was a blessing and a curse because it made me so comfortable to sing in front of everybody, but not to move or not to really put on a show. Because at church, you're not here to put on a show. It's not about that.
Right.
So it's like that made so wow, I'm singing to you guys. Like, I was singing to somebody before I talk to them. But at the same time, it's like that's like flip flop for most people. They're like, "Oh, I'm so nervous. I'm so shy to sing." So I'm like, "Oh no, no, not me." It's flipped. It's really weird, but I like it though. And right now, I'm just finding the balance in between, and I'm just so grateful for that outlet in my life because of like just sonically, I've tapped into a lot of different sounds. So I'm like, gospel was definitely a big sound growing up for me, but I listened to so many different things because, like, my mom's a pastor,
Right.
but she's really cool. And, she grew up in Detroit. She's African. She was born in Africa. So she's just like, my mom is fun and she likes the vibe. She loves music and all that. Of course, I'm like, different things she doesn't necessarily agree with. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like that was just like a great structure for me to start to be able to build to where I'm at now and
Okay.
find my balance.
Are you enjoying the journey? Is like the business has the business part of the music business jaded you and made you, resent maybe, the creation?
No, almost.
Mm,
Because things can be a little bit stressful, but at the same time, I kind of enjoy all sides. Like I'm just all around a creator and I love every aspect, every part that brings me to the next step. But no, honestly, like I just been kind of going with the flow and learning how to relax and really enjoy the journey rather than think about, oh, what about tomorrow? What about this? What about this? What about this? Like,
mm,
so I think that's where I kind of find the beauty in it and just really being an artist rather than putting like a time on certain things or even just letting things stress me out. Cause I just feel like, and what I've been told, like greatness is not going to come easily. So it's like if everything's too smooth, it's just like, I always look at it like I need to be doing more. This has just been too easy for me. Like,
mm,
or this has been, I've been relaxing lately. Like, I don't really like that.
mm.
So I don't know. I've been enjoying it.
Okay.
There's definitely times that it's like a little scary because I'm just like, oh my gosh, what about this? Just because I'm an overthinker and I want things to be in order. But for the most part, no, I love it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I, has there been a moment ever where your overthinking, your overanalyzation has frozen you in space in the spot?
Um, Not necessarily, because I look at, I guess, in the spot, like whether it's like a studio session with new people or it's a show, I look at it as like a one-time opportunity. So it's like you only have one time at a first impression. So it's like, okay, I need to come out here and they need to leave like either knowing who I am or loving me or just like an impression. Like that was really different. I don't know how to feel, but I definitely remember her. I like all of those. I like every aspect it could go. So for me, I just try to look at every situation. Okay, go out there and perform. Like this is your only chance at your career right now. So you need to go out there and really do what you got to do because you're going to make a mark on somebody out there. So that's just kind of how I move. I don't know. I kind of leave all of like my stressing and all those things outside, like in the house or like in the car before I get out. I just get it together. Then let's shake back. Let's come on. Let's go. Let's have fun. That's just how
Mm,
I am. Yeah.
okay. So as you're dealing with that and navigating that particular maze, when people approach you and say, "Oh, you really affected me this way," or "You met me where I am," has there been one that woke you up and go like, "Wow, I'm really doing this. People are really paying attention, and it's okay to be great."
Yeah. See, like there's been a few because I've dropped a lot of like real music, like self-love, body positivity, like things that a lot of women are going through right now.
Mm,
And I'm really just speaking from my heart. I'm not really like, let me make this song because I know the girls that are going to, or people are going through it. I'm not really just dropping things to get a bite. So I'm like naturally making music. And I'm not, of course, I'm thinking about the people, But at the same time, it's like these are my real emotions. So when I put it out there and then someone messages me because I try to check them, they message me or they'll comment on something. And if I see it and they're like, wow, this really touched me because I'm going through XYZ. I've had like women pouring their heart out to me in my DM, even men, just like I really felt your song. Like I really needed that. I just want to say thank you. I listen to the song every day. It's really helped me get from here to here. And then it's like, that means way more to me than a streaming number or this or this. Like just because it's like, wow, like I'm expressing myself, but it means so much to me because people are like basically saying I'm like a voice for the voiceless. Like people who aren't okay or comfortable yet with saying how they feel. And it's like I help them express themselves with like in ways they didn't even know. I didn't know I felt like that, but you really just put it out plain and simple for me in the song. And
Mm,
so now I made it like palatable for the ear. It's like entertaining, but at the same time, it's like, wow, this is really real. So it's like the replay value for like people because of not just because of like, oh, how it sounds. That's great. But just like what I'm saying. So me, I just try to be intentional with my lyrics and only say things that are like really real
mm.
instead of just saying things for clicks. Cause I know it's, in my opinion, I could easily, okay, take the viral route and say something crazy in a song. But me personally, it's like, I have a goal with my music. So this is my route. But I definitely, and like, and I'm in love with like, in real time responses and people telling me how my song made them feel. I'm like, oh my
Mm.
God, yay. Like, that makes me so happy. Like,
How can you handle your social media like that with the schedule? I understand that you're like out doing constantly doing events and doing covers.
yeah.
You clowning on TikTok, having a ball, and you know,
Yeah. It's like honestly, I know at a certain point I'm not gonna be able to do it all myself. And it's really like some days I do fall short on the social media aspect. But then it's just like I just double back and go crazy. So it's like they never noticed. And I'm like, I'm active somewhere. If not everywhere, I'm active somewhere. So I didn't post on Instagram.
oh, you
Something on
froze
YouTube.
up.
But ooh,
You
can you hear me
froze
now?
up. Yeah, I can hear you now. I'll have to make
Can you
sure
hear
to
me
edit
now?
that out.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, no, basically like I just try to find a balance, but it's all still fun for me. Like I haven't let stress like tarnish the love of music for me.
Awesome.
So yeah, no, so it's still really fun. So it's like I'm starting to move through life instead of like oh, I have to. It's like, oh, I get to. Oh my gosh, I get to wake up and sing on Instagram today as a job. Like I get to do this instead of saying, "Oh, I have to wake up and post today. Oh, I have to do this interview." No, I get to do an interview. I get to express myself to strangers every day, and they relate to me. Instead of like some people are moving like, "Oh, I have to, I have to, I have to." I feel like once you switch it from have to like, "Oh, I have the opportunity," or "I get to," that's where gratitude is going to come into play, and I feel like it's going to make life so much more fun. Like
Hmm.
if you really sit back and think about it, because I know I think about where I've come from to now, so I'm just like, it's fun, it's exciting. Yeah.
Okay, fun and exciting. I'm watching your energy pop. So, do you pop out of bed in the morning, or do you slowly make your way onto the floor?
It depends on the night before. Like if I went to sleep at a great time, and a great time for me, uh, a great time, like, oh, okay, I know I'm about to like be super energized in the morning is 10. That's a great time.
Mm,
So yeah, no, usually there's so many late nights. But those times, oh, I'm popping out and I'm so excited. But I like to go to the gym early in the morning.
mm.
So I naturally I'm just gonna do it. And then once I'm there, that's when the excitement comes. Sometimes it can be a drag getting out of bed. But then I'm trying to like I said, instead of get to the have to and get to, I'm trying to be like, oh, I get to actually stand up and get out of bed today instead of, oh, I have to. Oh no, like no. So I'm trying to like just realign my actions with my thoughts.
I
But
remember
yeah, no, I'm,
having,
I'm trying, but I've definitely been that dragger. Everybody
I,
has their day. Yeah.
yeah, I remember, at one point being in the 9 to 5 world and like, no, I can't do it. I
Mm,
like didn't want to turn the key in the ignition, but now I'm excited to get an opportunity to talk to people like yourself
yeah.
and, listen to you share your journey. I would like to know you know, everybody's paying attention to you. You're listening to all the comments and getting a billion questions on social media. And then, you know, is there a question that no one's ever asked you that you've always wanted to answer
Hmm.
as if you were interviewing yourself?
Oh my gosh, that's kind of hard. I've never thought about that.
They can't all be fluff questions.
Yeah, they can't. And you know me, like with interviews, I'm like so excited, or either interviews or just people in general, so excited when they ask me something that's not regular. Because I'm used to like, oh, so what did Charlotte do for with your music, your upbringing, and this, that, the third. I'm used to all those questions. So now it's just like I'm trying to add a little bit more so I don't have to copy and paste responses everywhere. Just add a little bit more and elaborate a little bit more. But for the most part, I'm looking for someone to ask me something out of the box, something either random or crazy. But I don't know. I haven't really thought about like, oh, I want them to ask me this. I haven't. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just figured, creative people, I'm Gemini,
Hmm.
so there's like 36 of me, right? And I'm always talking to myself and working myself through some things. I always thought creative people had those same types of conversations. You know what I mean? Like working yourself through
Yeah.
situations or maybe mock interview in your mind
Hmm.
in front of, you know, Oprah, like she did
Yeah.
with Michael Jackson sitting at, Never Never Land.
Hmm.
One of those, and be like, man, what would I say to Oprah? What would I?
Right.
Yeah, you don't have to
Yeah.
you don't have to dwell on it. I just thought it
Hmm.
was fun to ask.
Yeah.
Okay. So talk to me about being out on the road. Where have you found like the best grub? Are you a vegan or something or anything like that?
No, I'm not vegan. There's a lot of things I don't eat, but I'm not vegan.
Okay. I have to ask because I'm a meatitarian and I make no bones about it. And
A
so
vegetarian.
I am a meatitarian. Yes.
That's different.
Okay, I'm all that. uh, what's your favorite like road meal when you're really hectic, you're out on tour, bustling from place to place?
Favorite when it's really hectic. I think an easy go-to on the road and we know it's gonna be good is just like some pizza. I feel like every city has some good pizza somewhere just for a
Hmm.
go-to because I know I don't eat burgers. Like I never had a burger actually. So it's like, yeah. And like there's different things. So if it's like a everywhere quick on the road, okay, pizza is always easy go-to.
Okay.
For sure. You can definitely find some good pizza everywhere. And if they don't have like their own specialty, I guess we can go to a chain,
Mm,
just get it right real quick on the road.
can't do it. I'm
But
always on the hunt for like a gut truck, food truck somewhere. I'll just
yeah,
stop
it's
at three or
like,
four in one city.
yeah, I just sometimes I'm so hungry. I'm like, I don't even want to be disappointed today. Let me just get something I know is
Right.
good.
What's in
Yeah,
your
but I'm like,
snack bag that you take on the road with you though?
okay, so it's really random. So I have like a caffeine addiction. So it's either some coffee
Mm,
or some type of energy drink.
hmm.
Then people like say I'm gross. I like Twizzlers. Oh, you like Twizzlers? I like
Yeah,
that.
the red
Yes.
ones. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, the red ones. I love Twizzlers. This is really random, but I really love like tomatoes, grape tomatoes.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. Like
No.
literally today I literally like ate a whole carton of them.
Wow.
Yeah. I love grape tomatoes. It's really random. And then I'm just like in general, I like gummies, like
Mm, okay.
yeah, like different things like that. I'm not really like a big chip person, but for snacks, I really just have a sweet tooth, unfortunately, because I know it's terrible. But I like cookies and things like that.
Do you have and you I only ask this because I also love the sweets and will eat like a whole pan of cinnamon rolls in like
Oh my, I had
one
two
sitting.
today.
Feel me?
I had two cinnamon rolls today. Oh
Oh,
my gosh.
so I'm like, okay, well, I want to figure out the culinary stuff. Now, in your journey, was college a part of this at all?
Yeah, no, I went to college for a couple years. I went to UNCG in Greensboro in North Carolina. I
Mm,
went there. I graduated high school. Then I went to a community college first because I wasn't really sure um exactly what route because I was a makeup artist. So I was like, do I want to just go to cosmetology school? Do I actually want to go to college? I
mm,
didn't really know like exactly because I'm like, I'm just so creative at the point at that time. So I'm just like, I feel like the things I want to do don't really align with college, but I definitely would like to just go get out my mom's crib and go to
mm,
school,
mm,
figure it out, just become my own person and grow up. So
mm.
I definitely did go to community college first, and then I went to UNCG for a couple of years. But then in the midst of that, like quarantine and COVID happened, and then I started making music. And I'm just like, I think COVID really had a lot of people's brains like kind of like now or never. Let's do something. Let's make it shake. So I started making music back then and things were just picking up for me. And I just really had faith in it. And a lot of people had faith in it with me too. And I'm still really young. I'm only 22. So I always had it in my head. If not by this time, I'm gonna just go back to school, finish it off, and do what I do.
Mm.
But I just know right now, for how much moving I do, there is no way I'm doing college load work. There's no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Something is falling short. Something's falling short. And I feel like I'm not gonna stay in college to just half do it. Like and give the bare minimum. It's kind of like that's a waste of money. Like if you
Yeah.
don't get good grades, it's like you didn't get too much out of it. So
Hey, I let me. I feel you on that one. Like, why waste my time?
why waste my time? And I know that's not what I'm going to graduate college, take pictures. Yay. And
Mm,
then I'm not going to use that degree. Like I promise you I'm not. Like I know what I was already going to do. Like so it's like I know my mom she sees this, she's gonna be cringing, like, oh, Jules, like, no. But it's just like honestly, it's real for me. Like I've already known what I wanted to do. It's just like really aligning my steps and getting in contact with the right people and making it make sense.
was there, or do you remember a defining moment that set your feet on this particular path as Jules, the artist?
Okay, so there's like a few. Um, there's a few different ones. So I know when I made my first song, I just got my feelings hurt. So I made a song. I was just writing about it. Yeah. So I made my first song and I sent it to my older brother. And I was just kind of sending it around to my family. He's like, wait, Jules, this is actually pretty good. And this is your first song. You've never written anything before. I'm like, no, that was in 2020. So
Mm,
I'm like, no, I just been singing. But I never wrote anything at the time. So he's just like, wow, this is actually really good. Like, and he's just like a businessman. He's not really on the music side of things, but he's a businessman. He was like, I'll stand in and be like your manager until like you get like a real music situation.
mm,
And I was like, okay, cool. I dropped that song, and then maybe a month later, we went into quarantine and COVID.
mm.
So it was, no, because like where I was at the time in college, there was a lot of artists, indie artist showcases and shows to do.
Right.
So I really had like after I dropped my first song, I had like 3 shows lined up, like the indie showcases. So I was super excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm about to get started and go crazy. But then they all got canceled because of COVID. So I'm like, oh, okay. So that's like number one because I got a lot of validation from because for it to be like my first one, it was like really kind of random. Obviously, some people see me singing on the internet, but it wasn't like I was so heavy on the internet as a singer. But if
Right.
you knew, it was more of like you know me in person. Oh, we know Jules sings. So when I came out with it, I had a lot of support. And I just felt like for it to be my first song, a lot of people are like tapping in and they're like, oh my gosh, yay. And they're talking like about the lyrics, like, oh, I love these lyrics. Oh, I felt that. And this, that, and the third. So, of course, number one, that was one thing. I'm like, okay, cool. I might know what I'm doing a little bit. For it to be my first song and I have this much support, usually people are like, first time, it's like, okay, like, we'll see. Like,
Mm,
it's like a random thing you're trying to do. So that was like number one. But then after things started to lighten up a little bit with COVID. And I was making some songs in quarantine because I was like recording like in dorms or at home, different things. And I started to move around and start doing showcases. And I think it was like maybe the second showcase I ever did. It was in Raleigh. And I was like, I did not know one person in there. But I was like, you know what? That's like a luxury for me because I don't really care how they feel because I don't know them. They're strangers. So I can really come out here and just release. and I don't have to be shy, Jules, because I'm not really thinking. Like I'm just here. So I did that, and it was like a competition, and I won the showcase, and I'm like, wow, this is like my third show ever, and I'm like, oh, I won. That's crazy, and I just started. So I'm like, okay, cool, another step, and it was just like kind of like a lot of validating moments. Even though of course I had confidence in myself, but at the same time, it's like as an artist, as a creative, you want people to buy into you, of course.
Right.
So I nobody can really say, oh no, I don't. Unless you're just doing it for yourself, for leisure, for fun, or just therapy. But if I'm dropping a song and releasing it, obviously I want people to buy into it. So it was like a few different validating moments, and I just did a whole lot of showcases to the point where somebody reached out to me like, "Hey, do you want to open for Queen Naja?" And at the time, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, big Queen Naja." So I was told that maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks before the show. So I came out there, did that show, and looking back and looking at footage, I'm like, "Oh, I'm so shy. I'm just standing there." But it went so good. It went so well, and I actually like got tapped in with my team there that day because they were like there at the show just looking at the venue, not
Mm.
even like there for the show. They're like, oh, we want to throw the baby show here. So let's look at this venue and see how it is. So
Wow.
I'm like, yeah. And they were just up there. So after they just came up to me and they're like, oh my gosh, you're so talented. You make really good music. Like you write these songs. And I'm like, yeah, I wrote all these songs. They're like, wow, that's great. And then that was just another validating moment. And it's just kind of been from here to here, different steps to take. And I feel like for me, it's really been running into strangers and strangers telling me how I made them feel. So I feel like that's what has been like really validating for me.
Big satisfaction from that. Yeah.
Mhm.
You know. So you've had a bunch of moments. People really pay attention to you. And you have had a few moments
Yeah.
with the covers where, people like
Mhm.
you're going viral and people are going,
Yeah.
woo, woo, woo. But one of the most fun ones recently was the speculation that maybe Davido was going to make an appearance in a video. Is it? I know it's G16 classified right now as if who, but I just want you to know we watch
Okay.
it. Just want you to know we watch it.
Yes. That's definitely keep watching, pay attention.
Okay. What would you like for people to most know about Jules?
Hmm. I will say like with my music, I'm like extremely real. So a lot of people listen to some of these lyrics, they're like, you're kind of crazy. Or this, that, and the third. Like, oh my gosh. And I know a lot of people like will drag things out for songs, but like literally, I'm the type of person, I just went through something. Okay, look, for instance, me and you could be talking right now. We're having a great conversation. I might have said something, or you might have said something that sparked a whole song, could have sparked a whole album. So I'm really just going through like my day to day and getting inspiration from my real life, and whether it's the best thing or the worst thing, and putting it in my song. So it's like when you listen to this, listen to a song by me, you could be like, wow, Jules really did all these things that's in the song. Like she really did. Obviously, like, my alien is like a metaphor of love. Like I haven't been his face, but you
Mm.
know what I mean? Like
Right.
with these songs and like the details that go into it is real, like step by step. So it's like, I feel like that's really cool to think about if for people who do want to know like anything like about the emotion, it's just like you can really pay attention and answer some questions just straight up there. And me, I'm the type like I don't mind answering any questions.
Mm.
Like, so it's exciting. Like all of it's exciting. I've had so many conversations with people in my DM, and that's just me. I'm gonna respond like, yeah, we can talk about it. Like, and especially if I see in the DM, of course I'm responding. Like it's fun, but in general with me, like there's a lot of different things about me, like a lot of random things. But I feel like most importantly, to align with me as an artist, people can really sit back and think like, okay, we know this is really real, what she said just now. Yeah.
What has been your wildest creation story since you song creation story since you brought it up? Like you could be talking and for some people it could be a sound, a situation, the way somebody looked, a random thought that made you laugh from inside your head. What is your wildest?
gosh. Wildest creation story. Ooh. I feel like I still want to say my wildest one is probably my first song because, I said I got my feelings hurt, right?
Right.
So the guy who hurt my feelings, uh, so it was my boyfriend. I think we were broken up at the time, but he's an artist and he was an engineer. And I hadn't started making music yet at the time. But I literally wrote basically like a diss song to him, had him record it and engineer it, and I dropped it. So it's kind of like, yeah.
Oh,
So I just feel like a
all
little,
right. Wow. Face on the floor.
yeah. So he was really the engineer for the song, and like you're the engineer and the inspiration, word for word. Like, and it's like I know he's listening to this, like, and he's mixing the vocals, leveling it out. Like, I can't believe I'm doing this right now. But okay, whatever. Like, yeah.
Wow. And you figured that he finally realized it was about
Oh
him?
yeah, no, it was loud and clear. It was loud and clear. And me, it was just funny because it's like, young relationships can be a little up and down or a little toxic or inconsistent. So it's like, oh, I'm mad this time. Oh, now I'm saying sorry. So now it's like a way of communication. Like, oh, I'm just gonna make a song and tell him I need it to be mixed.
Mm.
So I'm sending him songs and he's just like, oh my gosh, like I hear you loud and clear, Jules, and I'm gonna sing you your song back.
Oh, wow. Well,
Yeah,
if you
so
could communicate, whatever it takes to communicate.
yeah, whatever it takes.
Yeah, as with. If we were doing a collection of essential jewels joints,
Mhm.
what would be your introductory song to that series?
That is so hard. Um, I feel like one of my favorite songs, and I know a lot of people really like this song, is it's called Don't Decline. And I feel like that's always like a good, like attention grabber song for me. Or my song Simp. That's actually my apology song. My song
Okay.
Simp, my apology song, and just like reaction, everyone is like, I don't know. I guess me, when I sing and I hear my songs, it's normal to me because it's my voice. But when other people hear it, they're like, whoa, it hit my ear like this. And Simp has always been that song since day one of me dropping it. They're like,
Mm.
oh my God, this song, this song, this song. Like I sung this like pop R&B song in the strip club.
Mm.
Like, yes, I performed everywhere. It's really funny. Like, um, but I would probably go back and say simp. And that's definitely gonna be a good introduction and just kind of show me because it's like I come with my different flows in that song and just it's like a good vibe, but it's like emotional at the same time. It's like the positive but negative. It's like the R&B but pop with a little bit of rap. So I just feel like that's definitely a good showcase to start off. Who is Jules? Let's start here. And it's just still early me with the music, but I'll still perform that song to this day. Like I
Really?
definitely will. Yes.
What was the energy like the first time a crowd was singing back to you?
Um, it's just like it's really crazy to me. Like even still to this day, it's like, wow, like you really know my song. Like that's really crazy. I don't know. Like I can all that's all I can really say is like so it's like, of course, that's what I want and that's what I'm striving for and that's what I'm trying to get to. But every time it happens, I'm like, whoa, really? And it's just like, duh, Jules, like you're not pushing and working this hard for no one to catch on, no one to get it. But every single time, it's like the first time for me. It's like, oh my gosh, that's so exciting. And people around me, they're like, Jules, duh. And because I'm like, I can't believe they're singing my song. They're like, of course they are, Jules. But
Hmm.
that it's like a day one, like every single time. So it's exciting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the newest video, My Alien, is out. It's a
Yes.
banging single. It doesn't, you don't have to look at the visuals, but it's kind of like um listening to the audio only of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You actually miss a bunch of nuances and misdirection moves. This is very creative. Did you have a hand in how this played out?
Oh yes, no, I definitely did. Like when making the song, I really had a vision. I was like, oh no, I really need to be in a spacesuit figure out the spaceship situation and find the alien, all these things. I just like that's why I was so excited and so pressed about that being the single because I'm like thinking imagery. Because usually I'm definitely very creative, but it's like heavily on the writing side. So when it comes to video, sometimes I'm like, I don't know. Like I was all over the place when I wrote the song. Like it could be here, it could be here, it could be this, it could be that. So I'm like, help me. And then I'm gonna meet you there. But with this one, it was just like, oh yeah, I'm so excited. I know exactly, you know, what I wanted to be image wise. And then we just came together and decided, how are we gonna actually take this video?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had a great time watching it, and I
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure I had it on repeat for about 30 minutes because I was like, okay, this is a new timbre, a new style, a new format for me. One that captured my attention. Like I said, it made me
I
lean
love
forward.
that.
So I'm like, all right. And I'm old and I understand that I have a lot of gray hair, but you know what? The heck with y'all. I know great art. And
Yeah.
I know when I'm being intrigued. I know when I want to hear more and I want to like, what else can she do? What else can they do? And I can't
Yeah.
wait, excited. You know, okay, I'm just gonna say it. When I hear great music, great creativity, I actually salivate. I have to have a freaking paper towel to wipe
Really?
my mouth because I'm freaking, yeah, to me, it's like smelling a well-cooked pork chop. You're like, yes, I can't wait till that come off the stove.
Yeah. The Mediterranean is coming out.
The Mediterranean is definitely coming out. So I want to say I thank you and I applaud your movement. I applaud your intestinal fortitude from coming from, you know, the cloistered world of the church
Mhm.
to a much freer level of existence.
Mhm.
And you've gone beyond the existence to living and inspiring other people to live through your freedom. Just
Yes.
pretty dope. You know what I mean? Is there anything you, Jules, wanted to cover that I may have neglected?
Um, I feel like we've hit so many things. Like, um, not necessarily, I guess, like, just some things I can put out there that's coming in the future.
Let's do it.
Um, so with my project, Galaxy Baby, the EP was 6 songs. I have videos to every song. Like we shot to every song. So that's exciting. I'm like, we started with My Alien, but I'm like getting in my acting bag and some of these other videos, like really good.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm super excited for these videos to come out. So it's just really just more to come. So there'll be way more to speak on, you know,
Okay.
as time progresses.
So you have your Ava DuVernay going on with this video series and
Yes.
creating and writing exciting treatments for some.
Yes.
I'm excited to just experience what you're going to bring. Thank you so much. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
your
having
patience.
me.
I had a blast with you, and I hope I
Me
didn't bore you.
too.
I'm glad you. Oh, you do wonders for my ego, young lady.
No, like I definitely had so much fun.
All right, I appreciate it. All right,
First.
look, Jules, she's special, simple. Be ready for an experience. It's a full service experience. Come with an open mind. Understand that this is not cookie cutter. This is original, creative, massive artwork. And she's, I'd say trending towards museum piece level. The girl is bad. And as an art, I'm very, difficult when it comes to art. And I'm very happy with what I'm seeing. And I think
Thank you so much.
it's safe in your hands. Let them know where to reach out.
Yes, you guys can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at jew.els. You can subscribe to my YouTube. It's official Jules Music, and that's where you can find the music videos and all the new videos that are coming very soon. So yeah.
In the meantime, in between time, we have My Alien. This newest video is crazy. It's entertaining. The music is great. Every nuance was hit. Details. Look, not just salt and pepper, it got seasoning.
Yes.
Girl did that thing. I appreciate you. Until next time, I hope you'll come back, spend some more time with us. We love to have you. Until next time, the Hype Magazine live sessions. Jewels, My Alien, out now.
Yes.
Go get it. And tell me if you can guess who the guest cameo might be. Ha ha! All right. Thank you.
Thank
As an artist, we should reflect the time.
Why you so talented?
Cause I'm black.
Why you so amazing?
Cause I'm black.
Really important that we build characters so that people understand their story matters.
2 Chainz and I both are just really into good food.
And when you know you are royalty, you will only aim in life to be royalty.
We're doing it right now. I don't give a damn what they say about me. Yes, I called your ass out. I know I shouldn't be saying this kind of.
Shout out the Hype Magazine Network.
Shout out to the Hype Magazine Network.